Okay, here's the wind turbine taken down, and just to show how it's put together, it's got 6 blades that are hooked onto an upper pulley that turns a lower pulley where the DC generator is. There are 6 blades hooked to it. I tried it with 3, but needed a little bit more torque to push that V-belt around. The mechanical advantage I'm getting is about 2.5 to 1. So every time the blades turn once, the generator motor turns about 2.5 times. That's necessary. This happens to be the 38 volt Amatec, and it requires a great deal more speed than the 30 volt or the 99 volt did. So anyway, gearing, it turned out to be necessary. The upper pulley was just put on with some parts I got at Home Depot for evaporative coolers. I think it's a 3/4 inch shaft then 2 pillow blocks 3/4 inch, and then these shaft collars here, one here and then one over here, actually keep the shaft from moving or coming off. The V-belt, I had measured that beforehand with a sash cord, and it measured 39.5 inches. But it is sensitive. If it's too tight, then it'll bind and make a lot of extra work and won't want to turn. And if it's too loose, then the drag from the generator under load will make the belt slip. So there is a happy medium. I found that for a 39.5 inch measurement, that a 40.5 inch belt with just a 1 inch slack worked just about perfect. You can see down here below it, this is where the generator is, and I just mounted that with a couple of dryer hose clamps that I got at the plumbing section at Home Depot. You can see that the flight gear here actually mounts on a pivot, which is really a piece of 1 inch pipe, a nipple 10 inches long, and it goes into a 1 inch pipe floor flange, and that fits just about perfectly into 1 1/4 inch EMT that I used for a mast. It is sensitive to how big the tail is. I first had the tail a little bit small and it didn't want to rotate, so I don't exactly have any calculations for it. But you know, it's pretty obvious when it isn't big enough. The overall length of the 2x4, which makes up the main body, is just a little over 3 feet. I don't know how long it is overall, but I had the tail stick out quite a bit further. The way I located the pivot mount was just to find the balance point just by picking it up, and it's pretty easy to find the balance point. And then, of course, I drilled a hole down the middle of it, and that's where the wire will go to go to the charger controller. So anyway, let's get it up and watch it fly. Okay, here it is up and in full flight, and you can see it moves along pretty quickly. And remember that the motor's going 2.5 times faster than the blades are, so that's certainly getting several hundred RPMs right now. Anyway, as I said before, the mast is 1 1/4 inch metal EMT conduit, and I have that hooked on the side of the shed, so I didn't have to guy it. And there are 2 saddle clamps holding it on, and down at the bottom I have a kind of a rig up there of some pipe. You can see that the top pipe tee is where the wires will eventually come out. Of course, the windmill is not turning under any load at all right now, but that's another below the open tee is another tee, and it just sort of rotates around some 1 inch pipe. So anyway, that's pretty much the setup. You can see it really flies sometimes. You know, it's really moving now.